Shalom Chaverim, that's Hebrew for hello friends, and Shabbat Shalom, that's Hebrew for Sabbath peace. This is Ethel Chadwick. Welcome to Bagels and Blessings. Today I'm going to be doing an interview with Sandy Arena. She's going to be here live in the studio. She is quite a talented woman. She is the director and founder of a non-profit Christian ballet studio and ballet company. She wrote the Life Ballet to memorialize two unborn children's lives and share a story of regret and healing after abortion. And that has turned into a feature full-length film with an original score, including songs she wrote, called Arise, Sweet Sarah. That film is going to be released here in September. I'm very excited to have her in the studio today, and I've got some great music to share with you also, so I'll be right back. Bagels and Blessings is a ministry of Congregation Shema Yisrael. We're a Messianic congregation located at 1326 North Winton Road. We fellowship on Saturday mornings at 10 o'clock a.m., and we'd love to have you come and join us. While there, please visit the Fig Tree Messianic Bookstore and Gift Shop. It is open on Tuesdays from 12 to 5, Thursdays from 3 to 7, Fridays from 12 to 5, and on Saturdays, it's open right after our services around 12 o'clock noon. At the Fig Tree Messianic Bookstore and Gift Shop, you can get all kinds of CDs, prayer shawls, music, shofars, books about sharing Messiah, cards, and jewelry. And if you happen to be in the Lockport, Medina, or Buffalo area, I would like to encourage you to visit Congregation B'rith Hadashah. They're at 50 Alberta Drive in Amherst. Their services are every Saturday morning at 10:30 a.m., and like I said, I've got all kinds of great music for you today. We're going to start things off with one of my favorite Shabbat songs. This is Craig Taubman from my Jewish Discovery, Shabbat Baba Baba Bat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat,
Shalom, it's the day of rest. Shabbat Shalom, it's the day I love best. Shabbat Shalom, it's the day of rest. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat. Light the candles, say the Kiddush over the wine. Do the motzi, the challah tastes so fine. Light the candles, say the Kiddush over the wine. That Shabbos feeling so fine. Every week I get that Shabbos feeling.
Shabbos feeling, get the Shabbos feeling.
I feel it from my head down to my toes.
Head down to my toes.
6 long days I have to wait for Shabbos.
Wait for Shabbos, just can't wait for Shabbos.
But then on Friday Eve I get that Shabbos glow.
Get that Shabbos glow. Oh, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat,
Shabbat Shalom, it's the day of rest. Shabbat Shalom, it's the day I love best. Shabbat Shalom, it's the day of rest. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, it's the day of rest. Shabbat Shalom, it's the day I love best. Shabbat Shalom, it's the day of rest. Shabbat Shalom.
Oh my goodness, I just love that song. Love it, love it, love it. Again, that was Craig Taubman from My Jewish Discovery. You know what I discovered? I discovered that Jesus is Jewish. Yeah, but we're not here to talk about that just right now. Okay, guess what, guys? Ted Pierce has a brand new CD out called Jerusalem Sessions. This one's called Medley. I love it.
For the Lamb which is in the midst of the throne shall feed them. The Lamb which is in the midst of the throne shall feed them. Oh, the Lamb which is in the midst of the throne shall feed them. The Lamb which is in the midst of the throne shall feed them. And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. And God shall wipe away all tears. And He shall lead them to living fountains of water. He shall lead them to living fountains of water. And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. And God shall wipe away all He shall lead them to living fountains of water. He shall lead them to living fountains of water. And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes.
Tears from their eyes.
From their eyes. From their Lo lanu Adonai. Lo lanu Adonai. Lo lanu Adonai. Lo lanu Adonai. Lo lanu ki leshilcha ten kavod, ten kavod. Not unto us, O Lord, not unto us, not unto us, O Lord, not unto us, but unto your name give glory.
your name give glory. Us, oh Lord, not unto us, not unto us, oh Lord, oh, not unto us, but unto your name, give glory, unto your name, give glory.
Lolanu Adonai, Lolanu Adonai, Lolanu Adonai, Lolanu Adonai.
Wow. Isn't that amazing? You know, just when I think I've heard like the best song from Ted Pierce, and then he comes up with something else. Again, that's from his brand new collection called Jerusalem Sessions. Right now, let's hear from one of my sponsors, Odell Family Chiropractic.
Your back is a delicate matter. Everyday things can affect
This is
it.
the last time I'm picking your toys up off the floor. Oh boy, it just went out.
Major injuries can leave you in bed for days.
Look out!
It's called vertebral subluxation. It's what happens when your back is thrown out of its correct alignment. It causes major pains and in time may damage internal functions. That's why the first time you visit Odell Family Chiropractic, they will determine if x-rays of your spine are needed to pinpoint the exact problem. If they find that they can help you, they'll develop a care plan to allow the spine to achieve the correct position and strengthen it so that it will want to stay strong. They'll prove it to you. During your care with them, they'll show you x-rays of the progression your spine is making while moving into its correct alignment. Visit today to receive a free preventative health evaluation. Call 671-9210. That's 671-9210. Say goodbye to back pain permanently.
Hello, this is Marty Getz, and you are listening to Bagels and Blessing.
My soul, wait thou only upon God, for from Him is my expectation. My soul, wait thou only upon God, for from Him is my expectation. He is my defense, I shall not be moved. He is my defense, I shall not be moved. He is my defense, I shall not be moved. He is my defense, I shall not be moved. My Messiah He only is my rock and the horn of my salvation. Yes, my Yeshua He only is my rock and the horn of my salvation.
He is my defense, I shall not be moved. He is my defense, I shall not be moved. He is my defense, I shall not be moved. He is my defense, I shall not be moved. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam, Leolam Vaed. He is my defense, I shall not be moved. He is my defense, I shall not be moved. Yes, he is my defense, I shall not be moved. He is my defense, I shall not be moved, Lord. He is my defense, I shall not be moved. He is my defense, I shall not be moved. He is my defense, I shall not be moved. He is my defense, I shall not be moved. I shall not be moved. I shall not be moved.
That's a great reminder from Marty Gatz. No matter what you're facing, you know, he is your rock, your redeemer. No matter what is going on, don't be moved. He's in control. Wow, I love it. I love it. I also love that the Lord has provided me with great sponsors that are helping me to stay on the air. And one of them is Excellent Air Heating and Cooling. Now, I just found them by mistakes. Maybe it wasn't a mistake, though. It was a God incident. You know, there was this time when my furnace went out and I didn't know who to call. And I went thumbing through the phone book and I saw, look at that, they've got a Scottsville number. Well, they came within an hour on a Sunday, didn't charge me an arm and a leg. And the guy, you know, he's a believer and he goes, of course I'll sponsor Bagels and Blessings. So they're just great people. So if your air conditioning is on the fritz and later on in the winter where you'll need a furnace, I know, I don't want to talk about that. But call Excellent Air Heating and Cooling, 889-7840. You know, maybe you'd like to have central air conditioning. You deserve it. You deserve to have central air conditioning. Call Excellent Air Heating and Cooling, 889-7840. Tell them that Ethel sent you. And next, you're wondering where to get your hair done. Listen to this. If you've been longing for some Eastern European delicacies, wonderful meals, well, have I got a deal for you. Europa Cafe at 1694 Penfield Road in Penfield. It's open from Tuesday to Sunday from 8 to 3. You can have breakfast or lunch there. Delicious paninis, crepes, cabbage rolls, blintzes, all kinds of Eastern European desserts and pastries. Europa Cafe. And right next door is the Europa Deli, open 7 days a week, Monday, Tuesdays, and Saturdays from 10 to 6, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays from 10 to 8, and Sundays from 10 to 4. At the Europa Deli, you can have all kinds of Eastern European specials, pierogies, herring, all kinds of fish, cold cuts, delicious food. So that's Europa Cafe and Deli, 1694 Penfield Road.
come on in, and you will be so glad you did.
Have you heard of that new show, Bagels and Bloopers? Yeah, you don't want to get your hair done at Europa Cafe. Let's just say that we'll save that for another commercial. Yeah, go there for lunch, but don't go there to get your hair done. And next we have Your Name from Zemer Levov.
No more will I run from you. I will be wise, except in your shelter. No more will I have to fear. I will be here in your arms. No more will I run from you. I will be wise, except in your shelter. No more will I have to fear. I will be here in your arms. Your name is above all powers, above all kings. Your name, you are the blessed Prince of Peace. Your name is above all powers, above all kings. Your name, you are the blessed Prince of Peace. No more will I run from you. I will be wise, except in your shelter. No more will I have to fear. I will be here in your arms. No more will I run from you. I will be wise, except in your shelter. No more will I have to fear. I will be here in your arms. Your name is above all powers, above all kings. Your name, you are the blessed Prince of Peace. Your name is
Again, that was Zemer Levov, Your Name, from the CD As Long As I Breathe. Well, you might think that I'm going to now tell you where to go to lunch at the hair salon. It doesn't work that way. Yeah, what I meant to say before is if you want to get your hair done at a really cool place, listen to this. People are always telling me that my hair is adorable. Where do you get your hair done? They always ask. I go to Jarday's Hair Salon. It's located at 2433 Lyle Road in Rochester. Their phone number is 585-429-6623. Enjoy a session that's all about you in a relaxing, rejuvenating environment at Jarday's Hair Salon. Their professional staff will always aim to please, and they will ensure that your experience is a memorable event. Be sure to give them a call today. That's Jarday's Hair Salon and Spa, 429-6623. They are your hair color specialists, and they provide facial waxing and men, women's, and children's hair cutting, hair coloring, highlighting, permanents, and nails. Jarday's Hair Salon. You'll be so glad you checked them out.
Shalom, Joel Chernoff here for the Restoration of Israel Minute. Did you know that God promised in Genesis 22:18 that through Israel all of the nations would be blessed? Did you know you have God to thank for the chore of spring cleaning? That's right. In Exodus 12:15, God ordered Israel to remove every speck of leaven from their homes before Passover. After thousands of years, preparation for Passover still begins with cleaning. Every spring, preparations for Passover include a thorough cleaning, including sweeping out the tiniest of crumbs. Spring cleaning, a blessing? Who knew? This is Joel Chernoff for the Restoration of Israel Minute. Shalom.
Today, over 40% of Israelis live in poverty. We have an opportunity to return the blessing God has given us through Israel by becoming a part of God's prophesied restoration of Israel. To learn more, go to roiminute.com. That's roiminute.com.
Well, this is Joshua Aaron, and you are listening to Bagels and Blessings.
Bagels and Blessings is a ministry of Shema Yisrael Messianic Congregation. Your tax-deductible contributions will help keep this program on the air. Make checks out to Shema Yisrael, that's SHEMAYISRAEL. And please put Bagels and Blessings on the memo portion of your check. Send your contributions to Bagels and Blessings, Post Office Box 192, Scottsville, New York, 14546-0192. And come and experience Messianic worship in person, Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Shema Yisrael is located at 1326 North Winton Road, about a half-mile south of Empire Boulevard.
Come on, baby, I need bagels.
Gimme, 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 gimme bagels tonight.
All right, folks. Not only do you have a chance to win a coupon for bagels, but I have a really cool book that I can give you about being a Jewish believer, and I also have one more Joshua Aaron CD. So let's see who's going to win. I'm not saying whether you're going to get the book or the CD, but if you can tell me who stole the birthright from his brother, the number is 222-2990, 222-2990. Who stole the birthright from his brother? And you're not going to have to go on the air because I have got Sandy Arena right here in the studio, and I want to give her as much time as I possibly can. So call 222-2990 if you know the answer. Well, I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome this beautiful, fantastic, talented, and did I say talented woman to Bagels and Blessings. Shalom, Sandy.
Shalom, and thank you so much for having me here. This is very exciting.
Wow, well, this is exciting for me. You're quite the talented woman. I was reading your bio. My goodness, you were named one of the 175 empowered women in Rochester in honor of the city's 175th anniversary. Woo! I can't keep track of all these things. Well, tell me a little bit about your faith journey. I mean, let me just say for the people that have been listening to Bagels and Blessings for a long time, obviously this show is mostly focused on Jews that come to faith in Christ and Messianic ministries. But you know something? There are some things that just affect everybody, Jew and Gentile alike. And there are people who have certain struggles and have done certain things in their life, whether you're Jewish or whether you're Gentile. You all are going through something, and Sandy's on the air today to share some experiences that she's had and how the Lord has helped her in helping others to heal. And so for today's purposes, we are one in Messiah, and just, put aside the fact that, we're not talking about Jewish ministry. We're talking about healing, and that affects everybody. Okay, so having said that, tell me a little bit about your faith journey. Did you grow up in a believing home, or did you find the Lord, your Messiah, Yeshua, at a later age?
I grew up in a believing home when I was a little girl. I loved Messiah so much. I remember one time crying when I mistakenly stepped on a thumbtack because I was hurting myself, but I felt compassion in the pain that I knew that Jesus felt on the cross. And that was like something very deep inside my heart, my love for him, and growing up in a church and attending Sunday school and being part of all of that was very, very big part of my life for a very, very long time.
All right. And so tell me about your dance and music, and how did you get involved with so many of these things that you're so good at?
Well, I always had a love for music and dance, and my daughter was a dancer, and when she was 13 years old, she had been training at a dance company here in Rochester, and there were some things that she was struggling with, and she decided that she didn't want to dance anymore because her heart was not in it. And then we learned of a ballet company called Ballet Magnificat who had come into town, and they take their movement and their dance and they lift it up unto the Lord. And we sent her to spend time with them at a ballet intensive, and she came back from that just on fire for dancing because it was fulfilling a purpose within her heart to be able to move with purpose and to move with a message that mattered. And we had nowhere to put her. There was no place like that here in town for us. So she asked us if we would open up a ballet company for her that had a faith-based message to it. And we said yes. Even though I'm not a dancer or trained dancer, I've always loved movement and music, like I said. But we said yes to God, and that's really how the whole story unfolded. That was back in 2006. So I set about running a dance studio. We opened up our first year with 100 kids, and God just provided a place for us and teachers, and once you say yes, the provision came forth from there. And that's where the rest of my ministry has evolved from that beginning. I no longer run the dance studio. We closed the studio. It was a nonprofit that I was running so I could spend more time with my family, and then reopened it for our daughter, who, fast forward, is now an adult, and it's something for her. So
wonderful. All right. Well, tell us a little bit about the Life Ballet. What is it? What inspired you to write it, and what is the message?
Okay. Well, like I told you, I grew up believing, and when I was around 15 years old, some things went awry in my life, and some things at home crumbled, and I did not handle it very well, and I will definitely call those the black years of my life. And I made bad choices and fell into dark places as far as, some of my experiences. And one of those was becoming pregnant and having abortion being set to me as what I was going to do in the midst of that crisis. So I was an 18-year-old girl at that time. After that experience, things really went bad for me. After you make the choice of abortion, you experience that. And, I was so young. I really didn't know what was wrong, why I was feeling so horrible after that experience. So when I was in my mid-30s, I came back to the Lord, which was just an amazing experience for me, and a whole nother story how God brought me back into the fold. But the closer I became to the Lord and spent more time in fellowship with people who believed as I did now, I was so ashamed of that choice, and really struggled with that. That was the one sin that I thought that God was never, ever going to forgive me of. And there was a time when I was at church at a women's ministry event, and a pastor's wife came in and she spoke of her own abortion. And I was so upset. I ran to the bathroom and I hid and I cried in the bathroom.
Oh dear, you had such shame and guilt.
I had so much shame and guilt, and I know now that if I had come out of that bathroom, all those ladies at that event would have loved for me to come out, and they would have prayed for me, and it would have been like a victory for everybody. But that's how shame works; it silences you. So thereafter, soon thereafter, I attended an event at my college where some of these dark years in my life had taken place. And it was like I was viewing my former life through different eyes, and I was very grieved in my heart by just being back in that environment and remembering some of those moments that I had where I wasn't following the Lord. And I was crying on my way home from this trip to my former colleges in Pennsylvania. And I was like, Lord, how would I reach people? How in the world, at this point we were running the dance ministry, how could I reach people like me? Like what would have reached out to me at that moment? And God spoke to me and said, you'll reach them at the abortion clinics. And I was like, oh, no. I'm the lady who hides in the bathroom when someone says the word abortion. I cannot make that a public ministry. I'm sorry. And
thank you very much. Call again.
Yeah, that's a great idea, but I'd have to tell everybody. So a few weeks after that, there was a woman here in town who was accused of murder who had my name. And her name is Sandy Arena.
Oh, the same name as you.
The same name as me. And everybody thought it was me because it was front page news, all in the television stations. Even one of my best friends called and she was like, are you okay? I heard what happened. And my initial reaction was, no, that was not me. I'm the good Sandy Arena. I'm the one who runs the ballet company now. I'm very good now. I'm a good girl now, you know? And then the Lord convicted me. And it was that I too have sinned and I have committed murder, even though society does not label or call it that. But I am no different than this other Sandy Arena. So I wrote and shared my heart, and
Ouch.
The Democrat and Chronicle printed it in an opinion essay. And then my big secret was out, my story. And I shared, I said, I too have had abortions. I had 2 abortions. So all my friends from church came to me and said that they too had had abortions. And that was when I was like, what in the world is going on here? Because here I've been sitting and hiding, in the bathroom, and everyone's suffering here in silence, and we need to do something about this. So at the time, what I knew how to do was a show, because we were running this ballet studio. So I said, okay, I'll do a show. I'll center it around a pro-life message. And, I'll have all these women can share their testimonies, and we can have some dancing. We can talk about how Jesus is healing us, but let's get the secret on the table. Let's do it publicly so people will have the courage, and they can see through our testimony the courage to also do the same. And therein started the Life Ballet. Of course, it's evolved from that through lots of different God moments. That was back in 2008.
Wow. Before we talk about where this has gone to, because I definitely want to get there, tell me a little bit about how you felt once you'd gotten this burden off your chest.
I was elated. I was free. I was, I want to go and hug everybody. I'm not alone. I was thrilled to know that I told everybody and they still like me.
So you didn't feel like you were judged by anyone?
No, I felt so free. And at the same time, I had a lot of healing to do. Once you let it out, then God had to take me on this journey. And a lot of that took place through the writing of the Life Ballet. Each song, each dance, each scene, everything I had to personally go through in order as an artist to put it out there in front of people. And that was hard, draining.
Was there anybody in your family or your immediate circle of friends that were just completely shocked and had absolutely no idea?
A lot of my family members and close friends had already known, so I never really experienced that. But for a lot of people, still, I think that I represent to them because the statistics are so high, unbeknownst to me. When I was hiding in the bathroom, I really thought I was the only one who had ever had an abortion. Even though there's so many, I think we're up to 56 million lives that have been lost. But I think that I represent to them a lot of people who are still in that place of shame and silence. I'm a person who stands forth in front of them as somebody that's convicting, and so that's difficult for me because I don't soon forget that feeling. I really don't. So if someone doesn't want to talk about it or shies away from me, I know my response is to pray and to understand where that heart is coming from.
Sure. And so when you wrote the Life Ballet, it sounds like not only did you write it to help others heal, but it helped you in your healing journey?
Yes, it definitely helped me in my healing journey. I mean, I didn't set out for that reason, but after we did the initial show, which was, this mishmash of dancing and singing centered around a pro-life message, God really started speaking to me through dreams, and I started hearing music and lyrics and unfolding the whole thing as a story that would, with different scenes that would share a journey that someone like myself who's had this experience, who's made this choice, would go through. So the show was structured as such. But yeah, it was a lot of crying for me as I went through each scene. And I do remember that the end of the show, the healing part, that was the part that took the longest for me to really hear from God, because I didn't want to put it in the show or have it be a song unless it happened in a divine way. And every single scene, every movement, every song, there's 1,000 stories that go with it, and where they came from and who they came from and how it came about and why. And so yes, it was. I remember we used to have a exercise bike in our living room because my children were small when we started. They're older now. I have 3 kids. My daughter I already told you about, and then my 2 younger children, Annalise and Caleb, they were, like toddlers and preschool age when this all started. So I would get on my exercise bike so I could work out and they could play alongside me. And I just remember sitting there pedaling and crying, as God was healing me of these moments,
Sure.
and just like releasing just the reality of what abortion is.
Can you tell us a little bit about the storyline in the Life Ballet and how it has evolved into a film?
Okay. Well, we started, like I said, we set it up as different scenes. So we start with the dance of innocence, and then we go into the dance of deception, the dance of innocence lost, the dance of decision, which is the decision is the moment. That's when you're in crisis pregnancy. That's what are you going to do? Where are you going with this? And so many people who have abortions are coerced into this choice. They're, basing their choice on fear, on the unknown, that sort of thing. And then after that, in my story, and therefore also in the Life Ballet, so we journey with one woman. Her name is Sarah. Which was a God story as well, how that name came about, Sarah. And then after that, we see her in the death march to the clinic, and we see her struggle going into the clinic when there are people who are different messages that she's getting, people who are pro-life versus people who are very pro-abortion. They want you to have abortions. And then the dance of the silent scream, which is the actual scene, which is very, very hard to watch, of the when she's in the abortion clinic. We actually have narration that's done over the music of clinical information that is used to describe how to have an abortion. So it was actually taken from teaching information that's out there. And then after the dance of the silent scream, we see the dance of shame, which that whole scene starts out in silence. And we say the silence of shame is torment. Because when you're in shame and you're not free, it's very, very, very tormenting. It sends you into the bathroom to cry when you're in church by yourself. It does terrible things to people. And then thereafter is when the healing takes place, and we see the babies we see our character be released from shame. She sings a song called Destiny's Lost, which was a song that God gave me very early on in this journey. And then we see the babies go to heaven. And then we see her mourn the loss of her children and grieve. And then we see her in the dance of forgiveness where she dances with Jesus. And she knows that she's forgiven. And then the very last scene is the dance of joy. And there's a beautiful song called Arise, Sweet Sarah. And it's a very big, huge celebratory scene and song. So we used to do all this on a live stage. And as the show evolved, people invited us around the country to come and perform. We performed in Canada. We've been to California, to Colorado was our biggest endeavor. We brought 16 people there. We've performed in Indiana and Tennessee and Washington, D.C., and all over upstate New York and Pennsylvania, Texas. But when we were in Tennessee, we were approached by, or we met some musicians on the street doing street ministry. And they started a record label, and like a year later, they called us and said that they would like to help us film the show. So I was at the point, thrilled, because not a lot of people want to talk about abortion. Thrilled that there's these two young, dynamic, talented musicians with all these connections and ideas and knowledge of how the music industry, things that, we're not total. I just kind of jumped into this whole thing. So thrilled about that. And thrilled that they were young and wanted to do this. So, we agreed to film the show, work with them. And at the time, traveling live really was hard. I mean, it's very, very hard. It was financially hard on the people who hosted us. It was financially hard on us. It was, difficult. What you can do on a live stage is not, it's a wonderful medium to see a live show, but it's really hard to show certain things. Like heaven was always kind of disappointing to me because trying to recreate what I think heaven would look like and what my children in heaven are doing on a live stage across the country where I don't have a big truck to bring props and things like that was difficult. So we've been able to do that with this upcoming film release.
Great. Just station identification. This is Ethel Chadwick. You're listening to Bagels and Blessings, and I'm speaking with the wonderful Sandy Arena today, and we're talking about abortion and healing and about how God has enabled her to write a beautiful play and now a film, which is called Arise, Sweet Sarah. Now, do you believe, as I know a lot of people do, and I do also, that you will see the babies that were aborted in heaven one day?
I do believe that, and I greatly look forward to that moment in time.
So that you said that is something that you capture in your film.
Yes, we see the babies enter heaven. We see them. We make it in the film. It's somewhat ceremonial. And they're welcomed into heaven with Jesus. And then there's lots of footage of children playing. And that was so much fun for us to film. We filmed here in Rochester last summer. In August for a week, we filmed for 85 hours. But that was by far one of my most favorite filming days because we just had all these children dressed in white on the beach, playing, flying kites, running, jumping into Jesus's arms, beautiful water, beautiful skies behind. And
how neat.
Yes, I do believe in that.
And what an interesting connection we have, because there were at least 3 people who attend Shema Yisrael congregation who are part of your project as well. And that just links us together even more. Now, for the people listening to the program who are in that place of shame and guilt, they have had abortions and they're still hiding in the bathroom, what do you want to say to them?
I want to say that they are loved and that there is nothing that we can do that our Lord can't embrace and forgive us for. And that I would encourage them to reach out for healing and to connect with others who've gone through the same thing and to find that freedom that's there for you. And my life is a perfect example of that God could take the darkest, ugliest moments of my life and turn them into something as beautiful as a ballet, that I have the honor and privilege of stewarding this. It's not my show. It's not my film. It's God's. And that I can do this with my children. My oldest daughter plays the part of Sarah, plays me. And my other children are in the show, as is my husband, has a part in it as well. And I know that is there for all of us. And I would just encourage not only women, but this affects men as well. And one abortion affects 40 people in a lifetime as far as the impact that it has on people. And I would say this, if anybody is in that position of crisis pregnancy and they're facing something unknown and they are fearful, that God is able and there are people that are available to help, and that children are a blessing, an absolute wonderful blessing. And the choice of abortion brings darkness and sadness and shame and guilt. And there's nothing good that comes out of it, of course, for the child who lost his or her life, but also for those who have made that choice and the people who are surrounding them, whether it's their parents, their grandparents, siblings. This choice for me affected my own children. There was a time when my son was 10 years old, and I asked him in a very simple, flippant moment, hey, how do you know that I love you? And he looked at me and he said, because you didn't abort me.
Wow.
And
ouch.
What do you say to a child? This is what is going through his mind. This affects children. I've seen kids in our cast who have lost siblings to abortion. I've seen them cry. I've seen them mourn. I've seen God drop travail on them. This is not just something that affects one generation. It goes down from there. So our nation needs to heal. People need to heal, and people need to embrace that. And the first step is to share your testimony and to get the secret out. And it's just one little step, and then the Lord will just open up the floodgates from there.
Amen. I would encourage those of you listening to, go on Google and do a search. I saw the trailer for Arise, Sweet Sarah, and that made me cry. It's just so beautifully done. Arise, Sweet Sarah. So that's going to be released in September?
Yes, we are releasing it here in Rochester at the beautiful Dryden Theater, and we invite the public to come and see the film. They can check out our website to get information on how to make a reservation to come to see our release, and it will be released across the country as well. We have other groups who are going to be showing the film in different places, and it will also be available on DVD as well.
Now, you mentioned website. What's the website?
It is thelifeballet.org.
thelifeballet.org. And so if somebody wanted to contact you, they can do that through that website?
Yes, they can contact us. They can see the trailer. They can learn about the release in September here in Rochester. They can also, this is very important to us, we dedicate our show to the children who never had the chance to dance. And it's my heart to have as many aborted children recognized in the film credits as I possibly can have. So we have about 200 names now. And I want the list to be long enough so those who are watching the film are going to feel really uncomfortable when they're sitting there, and they're going to see those names go down the screen and know this is just not my story. Like I said, the statistic is very high. It's 1 in 3 women will have an abortion by age 45. That's huge. And we want to get as many names out there as we can. A lot of people, even if it's not the actual person who had the abortion, submitting the name to us, it will be a mother who knows that her daughter had made that choice, will send us an email and even make the dedication be to my unknown grandchild, that sort of thing. So we have a link there on our page. If we would love it if people, even as a first step to healing, if they would like to include their child's name, and anonymously, or it doesn't have to be anonymously, whatever's comfortable for the person who'd like to make the dedication.
So exciting. Even with everything that you're saying, I feel like there might still be some people out there who really are trying to convince themselves that they're not affected. Like maybe they had an abortion, or maybe they had 1 or 2 abortions, and they are not letting their emotions go there to that place. And so they think, oh, I'm fine. It doesn't bother me, and there's no guilt, and they don't even see it as a human being. Like, what do you say to that person, Sandy?
Well, I would say I would understand that initially because I did that for years myself, and it wasn't until I drew closer to my relationship with God that I began to see my choice as a human being and a child. And honestly, initially, it's something you can't even wrap your head around, especially if you are a mother and you've had children. I can't even wrap my head around that thought. So I do understand where your initial reaction would be to stuff that. And to, in the film, we show it as a box that's too big, too black, too ugly to open. Except for in this situation, there is no funeral. Because you would walk in front of fire for your children. You'd step before a train for them. And then if you really think about it and you know that you took the life of a human being and your child, a child that had a heartbeat, a person is declared dead when their heart stops beating. Well, because there are people who say that an unborn baby is not a baby until he or she is born. But if there's a heart that's beating, it's a human being. If you're pregnant, you're having a baby. It's human life that you're taking. And I would just encourage someone to, maybe there's something that's bothering them, the rage, the alcohol and drug use. There's a lot of statistics about post-traumatic stress disorder that comes about from post-abortion. And, the more that I became well-versed and understood recovery, to see that some of these things that bugged me for years and ways that I handled problems that I was having was related to my abortion, but I just didn't make the parallel until I got it out there and I became more whole as a person, and God began to go into those dark places and heal me. So I would encourage someone to just really think on this.
Right. Unfortunately, we're almost out of time, but I would think, Sandy, that besides there being emotional ramifications and spiritual problems, that there probably are still physical risks as well.
To abortion, yeah. And it's not as safe as people would claim for it to be. And you can, like you said, you can Google to learn more about what abortion does to people. We have resources on our website, help resources. We also have a place where people can read about post-traumatic stress disorder and some of the things, the high incidence of suicide. You're more likely to commit suicides. It's a 6 times higher rate after abortion.
Sure. And God will forgive them. You must forgive yourself too. I mean, the Bible says if you are faithful and just to confess your sins, He is faithful and just to forgive you. But I think a lot of times people don't forgive themselves.
Yes, and that was the hardest thing for me, is to just say, it's like a run on record in your head.
Oh, absolutely. Wow, we've run out of time. I am so looking forward to seeing Arise, Sweet Sarah. Folks, go on Google right now. You can see the trailer, Arise, Sweet Sarah, Sarah. Beautifully done, and I can't wait to see it. Thank you so much for being my guest on Bagels and Blessings.
Thank you so much for having me. It's wonderful.
You're welcome. All right, folks, right now it's time for the Aaronic Benediction with Phil Klein.
Vayismorecha Yagir Adonai panav alecha v'yikunecha Yis Adonai panav alecha V'yasem lecha shalom.
And now may the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make His face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up His countenance upon you and give you His peace. This is Ethel Chadwick saying, Shalom Alechem, peace be with you. Remember, every day of your life is an opportunity to be a blessing to someone. Recorded, but you'll just love it anyway. So you all give somebody a hug and call your mom and tell her you love her. Shabbat Shalom.